Is Hashashin OP? That is the question. We just got a huge buff yesterday. It's a buff I've been waiting for a very long time because Hash, ever since the reboot just dropped, didn't get very much love. The last 3 kind of PvP balance changes we've gotten, Hash has received some love. But this is the big one that we just got, so I'm going to go over all the buffs and also for the future, guys. I think at this point, I'm just going to guess here. I don't know what PA does, but at this point, I'm going to assume they're not going to touch Hashashin anymore. If they did, I would be surprised. But I think sometime next week, we'll be ready to drop a Hashashin guide. But let's just go over the Hash. Is he OP or not? In my opinion, he's borderline OP. Like, he's there. I don't know where to place him just yet because it's a little too early. And that is because there's going to be a little bit of controversy on the bond skills, which I'm going to go over. These changes are fantastic. On paper, they didn't look that good, but the way they feel and the way it changes the Hash, it's actually crazy. So we're going to go over all the changes for you guys, and we're going to get into it. So if you guys need more Hash content, you know, join the community Discord, follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be talking a lot about this on the Discord too. So if you guys are fellow Hash mains, we can talk about it and hopefully learn more about the class together. But here we go. So pretty much TLDR was that these changes were to buff Hashashin's large scale, right? Unfortunately for PA, a lot of the times they missed the mark, and these changes drastically affected 1v1 in a positive way. So if you're a Hash main, an Awakening Hash main, you're going to be super happy. It's busted. In large scale, we can do some damage now. It's kind of ridiculous. I would say that Awakening Hash right now is literally a mirror of Awakening Musa. If you have the AP, you got the accuracy. This class is disgusting right now. So even though their initial, idea was to affect large scale, this class is insane 1v1 right now. Has very few bad matchups. First change is we have with Hourglass of Recall. So prior to this, if we would press F, we would get this cooldown here, allowing us to cancel out of skills. Now, it is 3 second CD. It used to be 8. So we can TP pretty much as twice as much as often, which with how stamina starved Hash is, this is a really good change. Now you can kind of keep people on his feet, right? The other thing is that prior to this, I would recommend a lot of people to, C-swap and then you would do the teleport. Well, now with this change, it's actually just instant whether you're an Awakening or not. It's a literally instant transmission. Now with this buff, they remove the iframe, the super armor, when using the skill. So it's literally instant. So to me, this is fine. This is an overall gigantic buff to Awaken Hash. This is huge. You're going to be able to keep people away by a large amount. The next thing is going to be Sin Splitter. So we'll talk about this after I go over everything, and I'll talk about the bonds, but pretty much if you don't have Core Sin Splitter now, it is now an SA without the bond. Also, they increased the defensive effects when you learn Core Sin Splitter. Now for my testing, with how much they've smoothened things, even without the bond, I've personally noticed that the gap seems to be covered. I haven't been getting CC out of Sin Splitter even without the bond. So the gap that was at the end of Sin Splitter, I believe, is patched. At the beginning, though, there's still going to be a gap. This is another amazing change for Hashashin, okay? We will come back to this at the end when I go over the core skills. Now, this is one of my biggest complaints about Hash when they reworked it. So pretty much what happened is that Dune Strike had a down smash on the second part of it. So this is Dune Slash, and then the second one goes into Strike. The second part of it had a down smash, which was very problematic because in the middle of a combo, it would cause a down smash, and then you would scuff your combo, it would shorten your combo, right? And this was a reboot problem. It was also a problem when it released. And typically you'd have to go like this and then cancel in the collapse, right? That's what you would have to do. Now that down smash is gone, and they returned the evasion shred back to Dune Strike, which is awesome. The damage has been buffed on Dune Strike, and the PvP damage reduction has been reduced. They have also improved it to flow better into Condemnation, and it's a little bit quicker, I would say. So this is another fantastic change. I really did not enjoy the fact that Collapse had the evasion shred, and I'm very happy that this change is back, because now, guys, you're going to feel Hashashin's damage again. Even without the accuracy passive, this was the main issue right here, I'm telling you. When you get into the game, not only is the damage modifier just better, but the evasion shred for the rest of your combo just feels good again. I don't feel as accuracy starved anymore on Hashashin. The next thing would be Paradise Surge, which is your WF skill. So they've changed the way it works, and basically it'll now go from iframe to SA. So you can kind of see it right there, right? However, when you activate it the second time, it's just going to be SA. When you perform it, your character will kind of disappear instantly, which results in overall smoother canceling, and it's just faster overall. It feels faster. And when you kind of weave this skill into other skills, it just feels much smoother. So a lot of the clunkiness from Hashashin's movement is no longer there, and it now feels reboot capable, like it's able to compute the reboot movement, which I'm going to show you guys later. The next thing is that Serpent's Coil. It'll now activate this flow afterwards, the flow Veracity. It now combos more quickly, and it combos in the Piercing Fang a lot better too. So this is another great change. This is kind of what I was telling a lot of people. Awaken Hash was kind of weird. It was too slow, right? But with all the changes they've added, Hashashin feels like an assassin now. Now, he feels like a front-loaded assassin, straight up. So with these changes, you guys are going to like these changes a lot. So pretty much, you can start doing a lot newer combos and routes if you need them. So for example, this is much faster. You couldn't do that as well as before. There's other routes similar to that, which will be in my guide. But overall, great change. Now, I would say this was the change that Hashashin's had a lot of problems with. But after testing it, this is OP. So, pretty much, Silent Breach, right? The attack comes up quicker in the front. It goes from a forward guard now, and now there's a super armor while moving. However, the icon doesn't really indicate that. It seems to be a super armor on the beginning of the animation, and then it kind of just fizzles out really quickly when the CC part comes out. So the text there was really weird. It could be a bug. I don't really know what their intention was, because the patch note is just dodgy. But it's pretty much a really fast unprotected CC pretty much. Now, it is now a float, which applies in PvP, which is crazy. This skill is amazing in PvP. It's literally just amazing right now. It also combos more smoothly into Sand Warp and Sand Slicer. And it'll combo from Sin Splitter and Snaring Sand, Coil, and Retribution. And also, the skill has increased movement distance, and they decreased the PvP damage reduction by 10. So, this skill, right, is honestly the highlight of the patch, because this is what's making us feel a lot more front-loaded, combined with the flow veracity change, right? So, first and foremost, the movement is awesome. I mean, look at this. Hashashin could not move like that prior with these skills in that succession, right? So, when you kind of add this to the kit now, and then with the combination of this just being a little bit smoother, right? You can see what I mean. The movement's amazing. So now when it comes to reboot, Hashashin, it has those gap close with reboots now. It's really good. So now it can like keep up. And a lot of classes now, we've pretty much gone back to release hash. A lot of classes can't keep up with Hashashin's movement anymore. When you add this into the equation, right, and you add Silent Breach, the new movement, right, and then you're just gonna teleport, and then it's twice as much. By the time they come up here, you can just teleport back, right? So it's very abusive movement, and this is what Hash needed in the current meta. Now he can compete with his reboots. The next thing is going to be Collapse. So now, since the evasion shred is gone, they've given the attack 10% attack speed, and they removed it off of Crown Kick. They gave Crown Kick a 30% critical hit rate buff, which is nice. So now I can pretty much do that and get more damage. And then, because to me that was useless. I could just use Sand Slasher and get attack speed. You'd have to hit Crown Kick in PvP for it to be useful. So when it came to large scale, it was really useless. Now in large scale, you have big damage modifier to go in, so it's awesome. And then collapse being faster is a very welcome change. This is now a much more usable skill, and it's honestly great. They fixed the bug with Piercing Fang. I'm not gonna really get into that. Another change I really like is the constriction change. So, guys, you no longer have to cancel it to get into the grab. I mean, you just grab now. This is how it should have been. So Hash is now an equal playing field with the other classes. There's no longer a requirement to get into the grab. Now he can just get into the grab. You got 2 more damage PvP reductions, and that's going to be in Condemnation, which is going to be this attack right here, 2% less, and then the flow right here, Flow Veracity, is 7% better in PvP as well. So overall, we're faster. We got damage buffs, mobility buffs. We got a faster grab. We're better kitted for large scale, and now this is going to be where the bit of a bond controversy comes in. I'm going to explain this. So we're going to talk about the bonds really quick. So when they were discussing the bonds, right, they were saying how they were going to buff the Sin Splitter to be an SA because bond, collapse would be the second pick, and they were right before the update. Again, PA missed the mark and did another unintended change. So I'm here to tell you guys the right information and save you guys a lot of problems, okay? So listen. This is the thing now, right? I take off Sin Splitter, right? Now look. In 1v1, Sin Splitter is still very much going to be your #1 bond to use. In large scale, this changes. When there's groups involved, this is going to change a little bit. So basically, this is still an SA, right? However, there's no CC now, okay? Now, before the update, right, the second pick apart from Sin Splitter, the second most popular pick was to use Collapse for large scale because it was like a ranged flow, right? The hitbox is like right there, okay? Now, before the update, they would be right because there was no protection on Sin Splitter. This must have slipped their minds, but in case you guys don't know, you can just Sin Splitter after Collapse. So the CC still goes out. Well, why wouldn't I use Bond Collapse anymore? Well, the reason is there's no need because Sin Splitter is safe now. You guys catch my drift, right? So, if you guys catch what I'm saying, you wouldn't be using Core Collapse anymore. Now this leaves you with the other bonds, okay? Now you have Core Dune Slash, right? The problem with Core Dune Slash is that it's only the first part that's protected. The second part doesn't get protected, which is what you need for this to actually be a good usable skill. So, I mean, using Dune Slash just for the first part, it's not really that good, right? So, we're not going to use Core Dune Slash. So, already, Core Collapse is out of the picture. Core Dune Slash is out of the picture. Inquisition is just garbage, so we're not going to go over that, okay? Now, you could still use Sin Splitter, no problem. But now that Collapse is more usable, right? You're really picking between Ensnaring Sands and Serpent's Coil. So mathematically, the correct one would be the knockdown of Serpent's Coil, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? You do Serpent's Coil. The thing is that you're always going to do Serpent's Coil pretty much when you follow up from like a float. So either from Collapse, right? Into the Sin Splitter. And then you're going to do this, right? Then you're going to go straight into the helicopter. Or you're going to engage a group with Breach, and then you're going to go straight into Serpent's Coil now, right? Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So mathematically, yes, the knockdown's better than the bound. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think, and I'm happy to say this, the best bond for large scale is going to be between Ensnaring or Sin Splitter. It's going to be up to you. If I had to pick, it's Ensnaring. So when you get the bond on Ensnaring, you get a bound on the smash hit part of this. Now, I don't have the crystal build I want. I'm going to talk about crystal builds later, but I'm just going to tell you off the rip, attack speed crystals on Hashashin Awakening are going to be broken. I'm telling you that right now, and I don't have them yet, but I tested them in Global Lab. It's turbo busted, okay? So this with attack speed is going to be insane. I mean, look, when you engage a ball fight, what's going to happen, right? You're going to buff up, right? You're going to buff up, okay. Let's say there's a group right here. I'm going to go in. Alright, they're dead, right? The next group, there might be a group over here. I'm going to go in. I might get a massive bound here. And then look. you get damage. You see what I'm saying? This is gonna up your kill potential massively on Hashashin. Here's the problem. If you ran Stone Splitter Bond, you're not gonna have enough time to do this in the second group. This is the way. Core Ensnaring Sands is the way for large scale, okay? You can still use Core Stone Splitter, it's up to you. But don't be fooled by the devs. They don't know what they're doing half the time, and this is another case of that. So now that Stone Splitter is an SA, Core Ensnaring Sands. You could mess with Core Serpent's Coil, as I said, as well. That could also be another good one, because, like, for example, you could go engage a group like this, and then just boom, right? And then you're just getting 2 huge, gigantic AoEs. But I feel like this will be the best play. Really, it's between those two. It's gonna have to take some testing. I will test both, but if I had to guess right now, it's Ensnaring Sands. But as a community, let's test out those 2 bonds on large scale. Let's talk about Ensnaring and Serpents, and then let's discuss it. It could just be preference, but we'll see. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I'm out.